Football isn't just a game, it's a reflection of life, a stage where triumph and tragedy unfold.
The BBC has been told the owner of Leicester City Football Club was on board the helicopter that crashed and burst into flames just minutes after taking off from the King Power Stadium last night.
Where the line between joy and heartbreak is razor thin.
Thousands of Livorno fans descended on the Armando Pichi Stadium to pay their respects to Pier Mario Morosini.
Over the years, football has given us moments that go far beyond the sport itself. Moments that tug at our hearts, inspire millions, and leave us speechless. From emotional farewells to tragic losses, these are the moments that remind us of the humanity behind the players, the clubs, and the fans. Today, we're diving into the most emotional football moments that have left an indelible mark on the beautiful game. These stories aren't just about what happened on the pitch. They're about the people behind the scenes, the raw emotions, and the deep connections that bind us all together through football. Tragic story of Millie Rose, Manchester City's tribute. Football connects people in ways we sometimes can't even comprehend. For Millie Rose, it was a connection that started with pure joy. A 6-year-old girl, full of life with a love for Manchester City and her favorite player, Phil Foden. But life can be unforgiving. One day, out of the blue, Millie was rushed to the hospital, suffering from a severe infection that led to complete organ failure. In the blink of an eye, her family, the club, and the fans were hit with the devastating news. Millie had passed away. Manchester City wasn't just a club to Millie, it was her passion. The club decided to honor her memory in their next match. At the 6th minute, the entire stadium joined in a round of applause, celebrating the life of the little girl who had given so much love to the club. But the tribute didn't end there. Phil Foden, knowing how much Millie admired him, went on to score a stunning goal, one that even she would have cheered for. After the goal, Foden pointed to the sky, kissed his hands, and dedicated the moment to Millie. He later shared the tribute on social media, ensuring that millions saw the love and respect he had for his young fan. Football might be about goals and victories, but it's moments like these that reveal its soul. Leicester City helicopter crash.
The BBC has been told the owner of Leicester City Football Club was on board the helicopter that crashed and burst into flames just minutes after taking off from the King Power Stadium last night.
Sometimes, the most tragic moments are the ones that unite us the most. Leicester City's 2016 premiere. League win was a fairy tale for the ages. Behind that success was the club's owner, Vichai Srivaddhanaprabha, a man beloved not just for his financial backing, but for his genuine care for the community. But fate had a cruel twist in store. After a routine match, Richie's helicopter took off from the stadium as it always did. Moments later, disaster struck. The helicopter spiraled out of control and crashed, killing everyone on board. The shock was immediate and overwhelming. Fans and players alike were heartbroken. Thousands of supporters gathered at the King Power Stadium, leaving flowers, scarves, and heartfelt notes at a makeshift memorial. The club's star player, Jamie Vardy, was visibly emotional as he laid flowers in tribute. The following match was one of the most emotionally charged games in Leicester City's history. The fans held banners high, a tribute video played on the big screen, and the entire stadium observed a moment of silence. When Demarai Gray scored the only goal of the game, he honored Vichai with a tribute during his celebration. The club's journey didn't end there. They flew to Bangkok for Vichai's funeral, demonstrating the depth of connection between the players and the owner. Even in the face of tragedy, the spirit of football shines through. Lionel Messi's tearful farewell to Barcelona. For 2 decades, Lionel Messi was synonymous with Barcelona. He wasn't just a player, he was the club's beating heart. But in 2021, financial troubles forced the unthinkable. Messi had to leave the club he loved. During his farewell press conference, the weight of the moment became too much for him to bear. He tried to stay composed, but his emotions got the better of him. As he fought back tears, his wife handed him a tissue. That tissue would soon become the center of one of the strangest stories in football history. After the press conference, someone managed to get hold of the tissue and decided to auction it online for $1 million. The seller claimed that Messi's DNA on the tissue could be used to clone the legendary footballer in the future. As bizarre as it sounds, the tissue quickly gained attention, with fans and even collectors showing interest. A model reportedly offered over $800,000 just to pose with it. The situation highlighted just how much Messi's departure meant to the world. His tears symbolized the end of an era, one that fans thought would never end. Jack Grealish's devastating burglary. Not all emotional moments come from the pitch. For Jack Grealish, a seemingly innocent social media post turned into a nightmare. Grealish loved showing off his watch collection, Patek Philippe's, Rolexes, you name it. But those pictures caught the wrong kind of attention. Criminals tracked down his mansion, figuring out when he'd be away. They knew he'd be busy playing against Everton, so they struck then. Breaking into his home, they made off with over $1 million worth of watches. The alarms went off, police and helicopters rushed to the scene, but the criminals got away clean. Grealish was devastated. He took to Instagram expressing how this had ruined what was supposed to be the best year of his life in football. Despite the success on the pitch, this incident left him feeling like nothing could be celebrated. Kevin De Bruyne's journey, from heartbreak to success. Not every emotional moment is filled with loss. Sometimes they're what push people to greatness. Kevin De Bruyne grew up in a small city in Belgium, dreaming of playing professional football. But his journey wasn't easy. At just 14, he moved away from home to pursue his dream, staying with foster parents. But at the end of his first year, he returned home to devastating news. His foster parents didn't want him back. They found him too difficult, too quiet, too shy. That rejection lit a fire in Kevin. He promised his parents that within 2 months, he'd make it into the first team of Genk, the club he was training with. And he did. The motivation to prove those foster parents wrong pushed him to work harder than ever. Fast forward, and Kevin De Bruyne is now one of the best players in the world. He's won countless trophies with Manchester City, set records, and established himself as a football legend.
Well, I moved away from my parents when I was 14. First year I was in that big school where you sleep overnight with every people, and then luckily the second year I went to foster parents. I thought everything went alright. In the end of the year, I'm fine. People never had to go to school for problems, discipline, I'm fine. The year is over. I say goodbye to the foster parents. I come home and my parents were like sad, crying, and I'm like, what's wrong? The foster parents don't want you to come back anymore. I'm like, why? Because of who you are. I'm like, what? Yeah, you're difficult to handle, you're very quiet. The kids who were there, it's very difficult to interact. They just find you difficult. Yeah, it's not nice to hear because in the end, I'm just a quiet person, shy person, and that's been given to me as difficult. So in the end, you're like, I was going to my last year of school, so turning 17, and I was going to the second team of Genk. And I said to my parents, in two months' time, I will be in the first team. And after 1 month of preparation, I'm in the first team. Conversation, I think, beginning of the season, somewhere in August, with the mother. The mother came there because obviously she had the other people coming there. And she started to explain, yeah, but we wanted you to go to the boarding school, and then in the weekend you can come. And I just said at that time, I'm like, you don't want me, I don't care. I don't care about you guys anymore. You know, I was nice to you. You didn't have the decency to say it. I'm 17 years old, I will say it to your face, I don't like you anymore.
Sometimes heartbreak is the fuel that drives success. Zlatan Ibrahimovic's emotional retirement at AC Milan. Even the toughest footballers have their breaking points. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has always been known for his larger-than-life persona, his tattoos, his intense training, and his no-nonsense attitude on the pitch. But beneath that exterior is someone deeply connected to the clubs he plays for. At AC Milan, Zlatan wasn't just a player, he was an icon. He helped the club win titles they hadn't seen in years and gave back to the community in ways that fans will never forget. When the time came for his retirement, the club organized a farewell event that left the entire stadium in tears. As Zlatan walked onto the pitch for the last time, fans couldn't hold back their emotions. He was presented with a jersey signed by all of his teammates, and even Zlatan, who rarely shows vulnerability, couldn't hold back his tears. He thanked the fans and said goodbye to the club that had meant so much to him. Football is more than just a game, it's a reflection of life's most powerful emotions. These stories show us that behind every goal, every victory, and every defeat, there are human experiences that connect us all. If these moments move you, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more stories that reveal the heart and soul of football.